Hi. So, welcome to session 6. This one is called When We Mess Up. So, it's not a matter of if we mess up, it's we mess up. So, when I first I got really into, the whole self-help thing young. I was about 18, I would say. And I was really hard on myself. Like I'd feel like, okay, I've learned this thing, and now I'm always going to do it right. I'm never going to um, make a mistake again. And then, inevitably conflict would arise, or I'd be tired, or just be mm, whatever. And then I would just feel like, oh, I failed, and um, I'm bad, and I'm weak, or whatever. Like some really harmful self-talk. So, what I learned with Buddhism, with Shambhala in particular, is that um, we are going to mess up. We're not going to be perfect, right? But that what we just try to do is just catch ourselves a little bit sooner. We try to catch ourselves a little bit faster. So this relates to meditation in that, um, like, so we would meditate for, I don't know, 1 to 2 hours at a time. It is really easy to just go off on a story in your mind. And so the longer I was meditating, what I was just learning to do was catch myself a little bit longer before, I'd gone all the way down this road, just to catch myself a little bit sooner and bring myself back. And that could be really hard because you could be really, really caught up in the thought process that you're having, and you have to make yourself leave and come back. And that's that whole discipline piece. So in real life, off the cushion, when you mess up, when you aren't mindful, when you bite the hook, as Pema says, or you just get caught in a vulnerable moment and just snap, go back into habit energy or whatever else, just catch yourself sooner. Just catch yourself sooner and get back on the path sooner. That's success, that's progress, right? Because it's progress, not perfection. So I am imagining that some of you who are staying home and staying safe, or shelter in place, or whatever it's called where you live, um, I imagine some of you have had conflict with your housemates. That's what happened to me this week. Is we're not used to all just being together all the time, or just everybody's a little tense because their regular routine is messed up, or because they don't have accessibility to the thing that helps them run away. And so I imagine we were not the only ones. so I bit the hook, got mad, heard the voice that said, don't do the thing, did it anyway. Went to bed, woke up the next morning with what I like to call a shame hangover. And I did not invent that term. I'm not sure where I got it, maybe Brene Brown or something, but it's just feeling ashamed, just feeling embarrassed, just feeling like, it's just an awful feeling, right? So I woke up with a shame hangover, and sorry. It's late. And I asked myself, okay, well, even in the evening when it happened, I, in the middle of it, was just like, came back to my senses and was like, oh boy, I've just done something really unskillful. I've just really made a mistake, and was able to walk away and just go to bed. So that was good. So then in the morning, I was like, okay, what am I going to do about this shame hangover? And so I just knew what I needed to do right away was meditate and contemplate. So I did spend like a few hours the next day because I had the luxury of time. I did some meditation and I did some contemplation on, where are my weaknesses, what do I need to work on, and how can I make this better? How can I fix it? And but I also spent time on something called loving kindness meditation. And a loving kindness meditation is when you're basically wishing for good things for everyone in the world, but you have to start with yourself because you can't really be generous to the rest of the world while you're being hateful towards yourself. That's just the way it works. So you start with so there's 4 basic steps to it. 4 steps that each have 4 steps, but and you can think of it in a lot of different ways. You can say things in a lot of different ways. So the first step is that you're going to wish for everyone to know happiness and the roots of happiness. And then the second step is you're going to wish for everyone to be free of suffering and the roots of suffering. And it may sound like those 2 things are the same, but not necessarily. And we'll go more into that. And then the third one is kind of vague. The Buddhist language was to never be separate from the great happiness. And I had to think that one through on my own. And I came to like a never be separate from God or goodness or my source or my higher power, however you want to think about that. So you can change the wording of any of it to make more sense to you or to fit with your other spiritual beliefs or traditions. And then the last one is to wish for everyone to be able to rest in equanimity. And that's a word that I didn't know and a lot of people don't know. And equanimity means basically to stay even keel. It's to just not get too flustered and wild mind about anything. And then the second part of that is to dwell in equanimity, free from passion, aggression, and ignorance. Now, those 3 things I just said, those are the 3 poisons of the mind. So these are the things that make us unhappy. Passion you could also call craving or clinging. It's what we want. We want that. I want that. I want that so bad. I don't want to lose it, or I want to attain it, or, don't leave me. It's clinging, it's passion, it's desire. So that's the first poison of the mind. The second poison of the mind is aggression or aversion. It's like, get that away from me. I don't want that. Get away from me. Get away. So, and those are opposites of each other, right? So when we're clinging, when we're desiring, when we're craving, when we're, passionately wanting, but we don't have it, or we might be losing it, it disrupts our peace, our inner peace. And then when we're just hating and pushing away aggressively, just, that also disrupts our inner peace. And then the third poison of the mind is just ignorance. And that word ignorance doesn't have to have like the heaviness that sometimes like, oh, you're ignorant. It's more just like, well, if wisdom is understanding the true nature of reality, then ignorance is not understanding the true nature of reality. It's thinking things can be or should be or ought to be or will be a way that they're just simply not. So when you are wishing equanimity upon yourself and everyone, you are essentially wishing for us all to be free of the 3 poisons of the mind, because those are the things that make us get all riled up and rob us of our happiness and our peace. So I want to take you through a loving kindness meditation for the next session. and we'll do it together, and I will talk you through it. So that's what I did. I woke up with my shame hangover because I bit the hook, because I snapped and I didn't act in my highest self or use the skills that I have. And I, in the moment, I caught myself faster than I would have in the past. And I was able to just kind of walk away, go to bed, not be super mean to myself about it, and not tell myself lies like it's never going to get better. It's always going to be this horrible, whatever. Just keep testing shitty things, just keep making it worse. So that was the first good thing that I did, was I stopped it much more quickly than I would have in the past. And then with that shame hangover, I knew the thing to do was not to get on the phone and retell the story, not to go eat a pint of ice cream, not to beat myself up all day. It was just to immediately go into some meditation and contemplation, which included loving kindness meditation for myself and for the world. So I will guide you through that next time. In the meantime, just if things are getting tense at home, or if you have a moment that you're not proud of, just please be very gentle with yourself. And just your goal is the next time to just catch yourself sooner. All right. Thank you.